So Claude Fable 5 goes paid on Sunday because Anthropic extended the window one final stretch. And after that, it stops being included in your plan and starts costing you proper money. So the real question is what you point it at before then. And I've got 5 builds for you, all with real money receipts behind them. Because everyone this week is showing you crazy stuff Fable can build. And I want to show you the stuff that actually pays. Now, the last example is the only build still working for you after Sunday. So stay tuned. Right, quick fact first, because there's a lot of panic flying about. Anthropic extended Fable 5 access on paid plans through Sunday, the 12th of July. And after that, it stays in the app, but it bills you prepaid credits at $10 a million tokens in and 50 out, which is the most expensive model they sell. And while it's in your plan, you can only spend half your weekly usage on it. Now, quick bit on me. I run an automation agency called Loopsera, and I picked these 5 because they're the same shapes we actually build for clients. And there's one number that convinced me this model is genuinely different. On the remote labor index, which is 240 real freelance jobs, judged by whether a client would accept the job, Fable 5 finished 16% of them. And that's double what Opus managed. And until this spring, no model had cracked 4%. So here's the plan. I've got 5 bills for you, and I've put them in the order of how quickly they pay you back. And I'll be straight with you. I'm not going to burn my Fable window running all 5 on camera because the cap is half my week's usage and yours is too. So instead, you get the receipts from the people already making money with each one, plus my honest take on what's real and what's not. And the exact prompt for every build is written out and ready to run. They're all in the AI Builders Boardroom. That's my school community for AI builders. Links below. And number 5 is the odd one out because it's the only build that keeps working after Fable is gone. So stay for that one. So build number 1 is the one Alex Finn put at the top of his list this week, and he's right about it. It's called a software factory. And the idea is that you stop prompting Fable like a chatbot and you build the loop that does the work instead. You hand it an idea file and it writes the spec and builds the thing. And then it reviews its own work against the spec, and it only stops when every check passes. And I did a whole video on it before the wave kicked off. So I'll put that above. And my take on why this is build number 1 is that it multiplies everything else in this video, because every build after this one is basically a loop with a job. And the line in the prompt that matters is the success criteria, because that's what makes it stop honestly instead of declaring victory early. Loops without a finish line just burn tokens agreeing with themselves. So that's the machine that builds things sorted. Now, let's give it something to build that someone will actually pay for. So you'll need to run this prompt if you want to test it out. Right, bill number 2 comes with my favorite receipt of the week. This is a 17-year-old who has made over 400 grand building websites with AI, charging about $1,200 a site. And Fable 5 does most of the work. And his process is stupidly simple. He finds a business with a dozen of 5-star reviews and no website. And then he just gives Fable the reviews and goes to bed. And in the morning, the site is just sat there, finished. Now, here's my take as someone who sells websites to actual businesses. And the clever bit, honestly, is the reviews, because the site gets written in the customer's own words, and that's exactly what sells it. The owner says their own 5-star quotes sat on their own homepage, and it's saying what they already know is true. But let me be straight with you about the catch, because there's one. The build is the easy half. Selling it to the business owner is the actual work, and nobody has automated that bit yet. So when you run this prompt, and it's in the pack below, spend your effort on picking the right business, because the build is going to be fine either way. And a business with loads of 5-star reviews and no website has already proven the demand for you. So that's one-off money. Now, the next 2 builds are the recurring kind. Bill number 3, and I'll be straight with you from the off, these are his numbers, not mine. But the setup is documented step by step, and it's the most retainer-shaped build in the whole video. So what he has done is connect Fable 5 to his Google Ads account through an MCP, and it pulls his search terms, his campaigns, and his audiences, and then it behaves like the media buyer you'd normally pay a retainer for. It flags anything that is spending money without converting, and it tells him what to scale. And then it adjusts the bids and writes him a weekly report at the end of it. And my take is that this is the clearest case in the whole video for why the expensive model earns its price, because posing a campaign is a decision about someone's money, and you want the smartest model available making that call, because a cheap model will happily post the wrong thing. And if you run ads for clients, this report arriving every Monday is a deliverable they're already paying an agency for. The prompt version of this setup is in the pack below. Now, ads is one retainer, content is the other one, and this next receipt is the best loop I found all week. So build number 4 is a freelancer who stopped writing new prompts every morning and built one loop instead. And that same 6-step loop is now worth $7,000 a month to him from just one client. And the shape of this whole lesson. So it starts by collecting everything the client produces. So all the calls, the PDFs, and the research. And then it squashes all of that down into a Monday brief. And then it drafts 3 content assets in the client's voice. And it checks every claim back against the sources before a human ever sees it. And then he approves it, and that's the whole loop. So he's turning 63 inputs into 3 outputs every week, and he only touches it once. And my take here is that the human approval stage is exactly why this earns $7,000 a month, because the client isn't paying for drafts. They're paying for the fact that nothing goes out wrong. And Fable matters in this loop because it holds the client's entire world in one context and still sounds like them at the end of it, which is the difference between content a client pays for and content they politely ignore. And the prompt for this is in the pack as well. And if you've just watched that and you're thinking, I want this running for my business, but I don't want to be the one building it and maintaining it, that's exactly what we do at Loopsera. We build the whole system, we set it up for you, and you own it completely. Links in the description. Right, build number 5 then. And this is the one I told you about at the start. So everyone this week is racing to use Fable before Sunday. And the smartest people I found are doing the opposite. They're making Fable build the things that keep working after it's gone. Because here's the thing most people miss. Claude reads your claude.md file and your skill files before every session, no matter which model is running. So if the smartest model available writes those files, every cheaper model that runs after it inherits that thinking. One guy put it perfectly. You have Fable write it, and then it never really lives. And 2 people documented this properly this week. Ruben's version is the simple one. You have Fable rewrite your claude.md with everything it knows about how you work, and every session after that starts smarter, whatever model is running. And V above went further. He's having Fable write a whole skill library for Opus, teaching the everyday model to think like the expensive one. And those files don't expire on Sunday. And I'll be honest, this is the model I'm running my own setup this weekend, because it's the one where the deadline generally matters. The other 4 you can still build in August on credits, if you have to. But having the smartest model write your setup files is only this cheap while it's still in your plan. So come Monday, when this model costs $50 a million tokens on the way out, the version of it that actually matters is still sat in your repo. And that one is yours. It's already paid for, which is why I told you at the start, this is the only build on the list that's still working after Sunday. Now, one last thing before the recap, because people are treating Sunday like a funeral, and it isn't one. And you'll hear a lot of advice about which effort level to run Fable on going forward. But if you build number 5, you're already ahead of that conversation, because your everyday models are carrying the skills Fable wrote for them. So you only bring Fable back on credits for the calls that are genuinely worth paying for. So the big specs and the plans and the decisions you can't easily walk back. And go set a usage cap in your settings before Monday, because the default is unlimited. And that's how people end up being built silly money. So that's the 5. You've got the factory, the website flow, the media buyer, the content loop, and then the extraction. And you've got until Sunday. So honestly, pick one tonight. Quick reminder, all 5 prompts plus every receipt from this video are in the AI Builders Boardroom. That's my school community for AI builders. Links below. And if you want help setting any of this up for your specific workflow, I do one-on-one coaching, links in the description too. Now, next week, I'm giving Claude Code its own browser. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video and drop a comment. Which of the 5 are you building first? If you've already got a build with a receipt behind it, put it below because I read all of them.